We did it! Hi there, this is Senator-elect Becca White, and I am thrilled to let you know that it is true. I am the newest addition to the Windsor County District Delegation Senate team. I was elected on Tuesday, and it is a major joy and the honor of my life to be able to get the opportunity to serve this district. I spent election day riding around the county to talk to voters and be out there on election day, and spent the evening in Burlington celebrating with the Democratic caucus, which had a very successful election day. So I wanted to spend some time, a couple days out, to just thank some folks and tell you about what the next few months will look like as we transition from having as I transition away from being your state representative here in Hartford to being your state senator for the Windsor County District. So first, let's start with all those thank yous, and I'd be remiss if I didn't start by thanking the two folks who ran with me as a team here in the Windsor County District. The first is Senator Dick McCormick, who also won re-election, and the second is Senator Allison Clarkson, who won re-election as well. So it's been the best thing that I could have ever asked for, to have both of them be mentors and hilariously engaging and excited and motivated campaign teammates. Whether it was the hours of honking and waving together, or going door to door, or working on messaging. I mean, what I learned between the two of them, I learned more from both of them than I had expected going into the race to be able to learn, and I'm just really overwhelmed with gratitude for both of them. And I couldn't have asked for a better team. So really grateful for Senator Clarkson and Senator McCormick. And the other group of folks I want to thank are the many people who helped out on voting day, who held lawn signs or hosted lawn signs on their yards, or maybe wrote a letter to the editor, or did all the things that it takes to win a campaign to help us as a team. It goes a long way when people are willing to support a candidate like that, and it's not something that I think people take lightly anymore. It takes a lot of courage actually to have a political opinion of anything and to then publicly state it. So I really am grateful for that group of people. I want to thank my community here in Hartford. You know, I'm always going to be a hurricane, even if maybe now I also represent the Cosmos or the Hornets or all sorts of other sports teams in the area. I'm always going to be a hurricane at heart, and it was really fun to be able to travel Windsor County this election season, to be able to talk to folks about what Hartford has done well and what we can work on, and how I'll bring some of our values with me when I go from the House to the Senate. I want to thank Esme Cole, who ran for the state representative seat here in Hartford and who won. So now you've got the team of Representative Coach Christie and soon to be, but currently state representative-elect Esme Cole. And very proud to pass the torch there. I want to thank all my friends and people who spent time talking through all of the different ways that a campaign can go with me, whether it was like a late night phone call. You know who you are if you got a texted meme from me about something that happened throughout the campaign. And then the core group of people who made it possible were my kitchen cabinet, my treasurer, Lynn Bohai, who's just such a rock for our town, and really gave me some advice that I needed throughout the campaign. And I want to thank my family, so my mom, Mona, and my dad, Jonathan, and my brother George and Brian, who all in their own unique ways supported me and made sure that I knew that I was on the right path and that they were proud of me. So really couldn't have asked for a better family to support me in that way. And then my husband's family, Jonathan, Elizabeth, Darcy, they really stepped up and were there door knocking and holding signs. And, I joke I really loved my husband when I got married, and I met his family, and it was a big win. So, I added to that. I got added to that great group of people. And then last but certainly not least is my husband, Dylan, who showed up time and time again to support me. And it's not easy being the spouse of someone who's running for office. And he made sure to do all the things that made it possible for me to run, whether supporting financially. He's the reason I'm able to do this with healthcare, making sure our house wasn't a wreck while I was out knocking doors. All of the little things that made it possible so that I could run for office, I couldn't have had without him. So very grateful for that. So now that I've gotten all those thank yous out of the way, which there's probably people I've forgotten, but I did just want to take a moment to do that. I want to talk a little bit about what it means now that I'm transitioning from being a state representative to being a state senator. One of my core things that I've done as a state representative is constituent services. So it's not just about passing laws or working on legislation. It's also about helping people bridge the gap when there's a barrier that they're experiencing with Vermont state government. Or maybe it's something they need to be connected to with their federal delegation. Like, that's my job. So if you're a Windsor County district resident, meaning you live in Windsor County or you're in Pittsfield or Thetford, I'm an open door. I want to make sure that we work together to draft legislation, but I also want to be there in case there's a barrier or something you're experiencing that could use a little bit of support. But yeah, that's really everything. Over the next 2 months, November, December, before we get into the legislative session, which starts January 4th, I'll be working on legislation around climate change, supporting some caucus priorities that we have around paid family leave, childcare advocacy work, one fair wage, lots of good stuff. And I'm hoping that I'll hear from all of you as the weeks continue about issues that you're concerned about, that you think that we need to work on at the state level. So again, thank you. And it's a real honor to be able to fill the shoes of Senator Alice Nitka, who is retiring from this position, and to represent Windsor County in January. So thank you.